Hey y'all. Thanks for tapping in. What? You look like you already got something to say. Goodness.
Energy off into it.
Hey y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Is that good?
That's a little bit better.
All right. It's Thursday. Thank you. How you guys doing? Here, you want to take this pillow?
I'm great.
Good. All right.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Blessed. Happy to be here. So, we have a fill-in, sit-in Mills again here today this week.
Man, introduce that man properly.
What's properly? Oh, my husband.
The national champion.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, we established that last week, and I thought we weren't
Every
gonna.
time he's here, we need to address that man properly. The
Okay.
national head coach
Mhm.
for the champion outlaw 6U team,
Oh, my
who
goodness.
happens to be your husband,
Mhm.
is filling in for our good friend Mauricus Goodlow, who is under the weather tonight.
He's not under the weather. His body.
Well, let's just say, look, hey man.
He had an allergic reaction today.
I'm not gonna even do my homeboy the way I should do. For those of y'all that have tapped in and watching, y'all seen the picture of 6ix9ine, right?
Oh, the last one where he got beat up.
Hey, Mauricus looked like the black neck version of 6ix9ine.
Oh
yo.
gosh.
Martin had that allergic reaction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if Mauricus is watching, man. Hopefully you get
He
better.
better be watching.
You know, hopefully you're taking whatever meds you need to take.
Yes.
Um,
Hey Blaze.
you know,
Thanks for
so
tapping
you get
in.
better, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, I'm sorry. We miss you over here, but thank you so much for coming, Brian, and filling in.
No
Y'all's
problem.
week's been good?
Yes,
Yeah,
the week has been amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
That's
You know
really
what?
good.
Hey, can I do a PSA real quick?
Absolutely.
A public service announcement.
I know what PSA
All right.
means.
All right. Real stuff. All right. So, I know there are a lot of folks out there, you know what I'm saying, that look the part and it looks like everything is great with them,
Mhm.
but inside that, they're battling, everyday struggles, whether it be parenthood, financial stress, adversity.
Mhm.
We're kind of a society quick to label everything as mental illness, right?
Right.
I don't like to do that, but it's just everyday life struggles and whatnot, man. And some of those folks, including myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, although we look great on the outside, really on the inside, man, it's a lot of turmoil.
Mhm.
It's a lot of stress, a lot of strife going on, man. So I just want to, for those folks that are out there dealing with this type of stuff, man, just keep pushing forward. For those of you that may not be dealing with this stuff, be kind to other folks, because you never know who's going through some of this stuff, right? And,
Absolutely.
you can either help them or hurt them simply by the way that you interact with them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, I know firsthand there are people, that, man, we consider to be courageous. We say these guys are tough individuals or whatnot, but even those folks, have a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? And when the weight of the world, when you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you don't have anyone to turn to, sometimes that's tough. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to use a platform to let those folks know that, man, y'all are not alone. You know what I'm saying? And, sometimes you got to get within your inner self to look for that guidance in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you may not always find it from an external source. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my PSA for the day. I don't know who needed to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it reaches somebody that may be going through a few things that are still tapped in with us. You know what I'm saying? Because after the shows, I normally get quite a few DMs or phone calls, and people say, "Man, you actually spoke to something
Yeah.
that I was dealing with." Whether it be you, Miss Tori Mauricus, or whoever else is on the show, man, because they encourage us to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, this is fun for us, but this is actually also a job. It's a commitment.
Mhm.
Getting up here every Thursday, making sure that we're at our best, to keep other people at their best. And I know that their words keep me going.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I'm returning the favor by putting that good positive energy out there for those that are tapping in with us.
I appreciate that.
And I have a drink to that.
drink that too. I'll drink my water, but thank you. Yeah, we really do appreciate the encouragement, and just know that as you guys say that we are encouragement to you, y'all are encouragement to us because those times that we're like, oh crap, well, what do we talk about next week, or that just encourages us to continue to go on and keep talking about what people want to hear. So yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you. Hmm.
I think we got a pretty good show lined up
Yep.
for our viewers tonight.
I agree.
It's gonna be like a wide spectrum of different things we're gonna cover. I'm definitely happy that Coach Mills was able to fill in for us, tonight, because he
Hmm.
has a lot of interesting takes on a lot of the topics that we're gonna to discuss tonight.
Hmm.
You know,
And side note, every time y'all are on the phone, it's
yeah, that's
first
a
off
podcast within itself.
within itself. Y'all always have some type of debate, whether it be heated or it's chilled. Always ends, okay, we'll all agree to disagree, but it's it's always like just hey, cool, it's all good. But you guys always have something to talk about.
Yeah,
Always.
It's
you
fun.
know, I've been schooling him, trying to get him right. So I told him at the end of every phone call, that verbal ass whooping is just so that he can get better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do is help him be a better debater. And he's getting there, man.
Trust me, he don't have no issues debating me. So I just look.
There's those fucking ways I'm trying to tell you, this ain't my mom, so you can tell we can speak freely on this show, so.
Okay. All right. So well then let's see. Okay. So the first thing I actually wanted to kind of not really touch on, but get y'all's opinions. It's kind of like a two-part question. Um, in regards to kind of what we were talking about last week with Sierra and Russell Wilson. But do you guys feel like these or not celebrities, these athletes have wives, the ones that have celebrity wives, do you think that that kind of plays to the downfall of their careers?
Like when you say celebrity, you mean like that have wives that are celebrities?
That are celebrities. So I'll give you, so I actually wrote down some of them just to kind of give you just a, okay. So Tom Brady was one that we really started off with. Tom Brady with Giselle, she's a model, and you were like, oh, well, she, was kind of his downfall because of her showing her ass out on. So yes, so Tom Brady, do you think that she was kind of, so that's just one. We were talking about Russell Wilson and Sierra last week. Do you think that she plays any role in his, because I feel like he's not out there as much as he used to be. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say we have Tony Romo. He has a celebrity wife. And then let's be honest, Kim Kardashian. All of her athletic husbands slash boyfriends, do you think that she played a role in the downfall of their careers?
Like, I'm gonna let Brian touch that.
We'll talk, I'll talk about this one. So, my point is, I don't think celebrity wives have a impact on these athletes. These athletes have an impact on their own career first.
Okay.
Now, Kim Kardashian,
Oh gosh.
oh yes, you look at her track record, everybody's career go downhill when they with her. Ray J career was going downhill. his best thing was the tape.
I mean, what's the deal?
I mean, he was saying
Oh,
he was doing good.
Yeah,
But
he's
he
got a
was-
lot
he
of
wasn't that
money.
good, but the tape actually made him a superstar. Who's that guy she dated that was in the NBA with the Nets? He had one good season with her. He not even in the league. Humphreys or something like that.
I have no idea.
Yes, the one that.
Kanye's first album. We lost who Kanye was when he
Kanye
was there.
Mental Institute.
Right. He ain't been the same since. And I'm trying to think, well, she got a laundry list. But yeah, she brings careers down here. I haven't seen nobody succeed with her yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Tom Brady and Giselle, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Giselle brought Tom Brady down because he still retires as arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in many people's opinion. He still, I feel like, was able to go out his own way. Nobody forced him out. If Tom wanted to come back and play football, very second he would have that opportunity. I think that no matter who Tom Brady was married to, they were going to take a secondary position to his career, right? The only person Tom Brady is really married to is his career. You know, he's just one of those
True.
guys that, man, you know, you can call it being in love with himself. You know, maybe football is all that he ever really loved or all that he knows or whatnot. But, you know, I think any woman would have to understand, okay, how many kids you have with this guy, you know, what you guys have accumulated together. If you're not willing to allow Tom to be himself and live out his ultimate dream and do things his way until he can no longer do those things anymore, there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Now, honestly, I had to do some research on Giselle. I knew she was a Victoria's Secrets model, supermodel, is what I later found out. You know, she has plenty, if not more. And I guess at the end of the day, according to her, she wanted a husband, right? She wanted him to be around more.
Yeah.
Which, for a lot of us, well, I'm not gonna speak for y'all. I'll speak for myself. All right. When I look at a lot of these celebrity marriages, and this is just my opinion, you know, 'cause I don't really have any factual data to support it. It's just my perception of celebrity marriages. When I look at these celebrity marriages, I think they're filled with external fixes. You know, meaning, okay, my husband ain't around, but who cares, man? I can jump on a private jet and I can go to Italy for breakfast if I felt like it. You know what? I can take my kids anywhere in the world, honestly, and enjoy a good time. So I don't necessarily need my spouse to enjoy life with. You know what I'm saying? Now I may be wrong for thinking those ways, but you know, a lot of the times, you know, money does. You know, I ain't gonna say money brings you happiness, but money can put you in a position to be happier.
So you said that you don't think that you would need your spouse to be happy, as you just said, or your significant other.
Well, I mean, not 24 hours out the day.
Right. Well, no.
You know what I'm saying? So what Giselle is basically, she wants Tom to retire from football, right? You said it was because of his safety.
Yeah.
She said because she just wants him around more.
Okay.
But even if Tom retired from football, Tom is not going to be the type of guy who's just going to stay at the house all day. He's going to go get that job on one of these networks, which is probably going to be just as
Time consuming.
As actually playing. You know what I'm saying? So I think in Tom's case, that's just how Tom is.
Yeah.
Right? You think when I think about Kim Kardashian, man, like, I don't want to be negative when it comes to her. I don't know her personally.
Oh.
But like Brian said, if you look at the track record, I don't know too many guys that she's dated, slept with, been married to, that have come out of that relationship better than what they were going into it. So in her case, I can emphatically say, man, hell yeah, she's the downfall of a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? So leave that coochie alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone, man, because it ain't prospering your career.
Yeah.
Right? As far as Tony Romo, man, you know, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know Tony Romo was married. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even strike me as a type that would be married. I know he was dating, I think, Jerry Jones' daughter for a while or whatever. I think that's what kind of kept him employed and all this other stuff, what have you. But at this point, like, I don't know if is he married to the daughter or.
Yes, Candace Crawford. That is his wife. Yes.
And that's Jerry Jones's.
Oh, I don't know who she's from.
I think she is Jerry Jones. I think he is his daughter.
Oh, was it Aikman that was married? Okay. One of those quarterbacks was married to Jerry Jones, was dating Jerry Jones's daughter or whatever stuff. So, yeah. But nah, man, I can't see that one. Like, you know, I do feel as if being in a celebrity relationship is tough.
It's hard.
We look at the Russell Wilson and Ciara situation. You know, we talked about this before we even came on tonight. I said, I don't care how much money you have; those are still human beings at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
They still go through the same shit that we go through. You know, they still have arguments, disagreements, don't talk to each other for days and do stuff to just irk each other's nerves or whatever. Like same stuff you and Brian deal with all the time. You know what I'm saying? Same stuff Brian tell you all the time. Like, man, he just, oh man, my bad. So we live. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I mean, it's just it is tough. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it just is what it is, man. You just better find somebody that you're equally yoked with, and make sure that it's not just a business arrangement. I think a lot of these celebrity entanglements are business oriented. Love comes secondary.
So I'm gonna just go off of that Giselle Tom Brady situation, and you're a female. So you said that she wanted him home more, right?
For your sake.
You wanted him home more. When you have a person like Tom Brady, LeBron James, Kobe, Michael Jordan, you know their dedication that they put into their craft, their commitment to it. They're not great on that level for no reason without putting several hours in it. So you know the type of man that you getting involved. How could you ask him to stop what he loved, what you married him into, you knew his heart, to drop that just to come home? Because now you know you're not going to be as happy.
So, okay, so you know how you guys are like, as men, y'all are like, oh, well, when we first met you, you was wearing this and this, and you always had your hair done and all this stuff. And then when we get married, and then we want to come to bed with, our caps on and grandma, all that, okay? So I want to say, like, it was probably the same thing at the beginning of their relationship where he was spending all this time with her, giving her all this time. I think that he set expectations with her up front, and this is kind of like with any relationship. Y'all set expectations with us too. So he had time.
Well,
Legacy just said, just like I said, he had time.
Now I'll say this because I've never been married, so I don't really know how that marriage aspect works.
But you've been in relationships. Have you been in a? You've been in a long-term? Right? Same difference.
So what I'll say is this: I didn't want to just make it seem like I'm being a hypocrite by talking about marriage when I've never been married. So I have to clarify that for the audience.
Okay, for the audience, you've never been married. You've been in a long-term relationship. You're not marriage material.
No,
sorry.
I ain't never been married when I'm next. There's a lot of people out there that say they're married.
Yeah.
They're not married. Man, that's their prerogative, right? But this is the deal right here. Based on what you said, once I get married, I don't give a damn what you come to bed in. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna all end the same way. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, so you don't have to dress up for me. You know what I'm saying?
But you have that like honeymoon stage at the beginning, and it's the same thing with men. Like y'all have set these expectations, just like we as females, come out to the tens, and y'all do too.
Once I get married, I don't want you wearing all that sexy stuff no more. But I'm old school. Man.
Yes, we figured this out last week that you old school.
I didn't had, I don't want to fight no more. You know what I'm saying? And I know nowadays, the younger generation, y'all cool with all the, the disrespect and all that kind of stuff when it comes to your significant other, because another guy can walk right behind and be like, oh damn, she got a fat ass, and the husband be like, yeah, she do, right? Like, man, that's just not tolerated where I'm from.
That is disrespectful, especially if he knows that you are.
Right.
Yes, that is disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have to go back and I would have to tell my lady, well, look, hey, so when you go out and you dress like this is the kind of attention you're going to get. So it's always going to keep me on high alert to defend your honor. Y'all may be too young. Y'all ain't never seen The Color Purple?
Yes.
When the dude, I forgot the lady he was messing with, and he said, man, I always got to defend
you.
Yeah, something like that.
In the
Same
club.
thing. In the juke joint.
Yeah.
The
The juke joint. Yeah.
Right? So that's what it is, man. But anyway. Anyway, what else we need to discuss before we get into the main thing?
That's what I had brought. I have something else, but that'll be later on because I actually want to go over what you had brought up.
Okay, so I got something I pulled off of social media. All right, one of my friends on social media, he actually had a pretty good topic Well, I thought it was a good topic of discussion, so I'm going to read it to you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want your opinions on it, right? Because this actually plays into what our main topic of the night is. All right, so Anthony Neville Sutherland, this was his post, right?
Mm-hmm.
He put, women don't know how to be women anymore. They don't know how to do what women do. Men don't know how to be men anymore. They are raised by women that do what men are supposed to do. Men want the same attention that women get for taking the place of men. We are all confused. So when I read that, I said, man, I have to read it a couple of times. I'm like,
Yeah, I might need to.
Yeah, so basically in a nutshell, what it's saying is this. We don't have women that act in womanly roles anymore. We don't have men that act in manly roles anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's almost exact opposite. Well, women act like men and men act like women. We're all confused because what I've come, and I actually,
You agree with
to
it?
a certain extent, yes, I do agree with that because we live in a society nowadays to where, for one, society has taught us that there is no gender anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you just whatever you want to be, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, science doesn't mean anything anymore. You could be born a man and say that you're a woman. You can be born a woman and say that you're a man. You can be born a man and say you're a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is, right? And I think that has led to a lot of confusion when it comes to how we interact with each other. And I think it confuses us because
Can
now,
you read that again?
Okay, I'm gonna read it one more time. All right. Women don't know how to be women anymore. They don't know how to do what women do. Men don't know how to be men anymore. They are raised by women that do what men are supposed to do. Men want the same attention that women get for taking the place of men. We are all confused.
So, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mhm.
I'm just curious. In your definition, because I know what mine is, but just hearing from you, and Tori, you can give yours if you want. What's a woman's role?
That's what I was
What's
going to
a man's
ask.
role?
That's what I was going to
I'm
ask.
just curious.
Okay.
In your opinion, what is a man and what's a woman's role?
So that's a great question because I'm pretty sure a lot of folks have that same question. All right.
And
Now,
just to kind of get a background, what era is this friend from? Like what?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have no idea. You know what I'm saying?
That makes a huge difference. Just, okay, go ahead.
So when we talk about roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, Brian, all right, there are certain things, certain roles that I think a man should play. Now we're talking about folks in relationships, right? Not a single man or a single woman, right? Because
Okay.
if you're single, you play every role. You know what I'm saying? So, especially if you're talking about kids or whatnot, or whatever, right? But if I'm in a relationship, there are certain roles that I'm gonna take on, right? So when it comes to providing safety for my family, I feel that's my role. That's my job as a man to make sure that my entire family is safe, right? Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that my wife or my girlfriend wouldn't be able to provide safety as well, but that's
Right.
primarily my role, right? When it comes to making sure that the family is financially stable, that's my role. Now, I'm not saying that my wife or my girlfriend couldn't work, but I should not be depending on her to take care of the family, right? When it comes to just general maintenance of the household, fixing cars, washing cars, cutting grass, all this kind of stuff, feel those are manly roles, right? If you have a man in your household, why would he not take charge of those type of activities? Now, I'm not saying that those are exclusively for him, but why wouldn't they have that type
sorry,
of
yeah.
role, right? When I look at the roles of a woman, right? Women are more nurturing. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it is the role of a woman in your household to provide that love, that nurturing aspect, component of the relationship, the care, because there are just certain things as men that we're not equipped to handle. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you put the yin with the yang.
Okay.
When it comes to, let's just say, I'm not going to say cooking because everybody can cook nowadays or whatnot, but I would hate to be the man in the relationship to where my wife or girlfriend did not think cooking was important at all, to the point she was like, well, shit, I ain't cooking nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know, y'all can eat whatever y'all want to eat or do what y'all want to do. When it comes to that, that would be a hard thing for me to deal with. And fortunately for me, in the relationships that I've been in the past, I've never had to deal with that, right? When it comes to, let's just say, providing emotional support for the kids, I do think that that's a big thing and a big role that women should take on. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the father shouldn't be present in their kids' life and provide emotional support, but I do think that that's something that should be spearheaded by the woman, because once again, I'm giving you guys credit, I'm not taking anything away from females or from women in general, is you guys are just better at that than most men. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, if the roles are flipped, man, look, to each his own, and however relationship you got, that's on you. But, and I don't really like to deal with traditions and stuff like that, because there's a lot of bullshit traditions out there.
Right.
But I do feel that some of the traditional roles should be kept up. You know what I'm saying? So, my opinion. To answer your question, Brian, hopefully I did a good job.
No, I think you did. Since you wanna.
No, I mean, I just feel like, yes, traditionally, I understand. I get it, because it was always traditionally the female cooks, or traditionally the man, like you said, fixes the car or whatever, traditionally. But now, as roles, or not, I don't even want to say roles, but just life has changed. Like, I've seen a lot where men are staying home and females are out there actually working, so is,
my mic, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay.
Is there, I guess I would just need more context in regards to that, because it could go either way.
Right.
It really could.
So let me say this. A marriage is a team. That's how I look at it. Your wife and your husband, you're a team, you're partners. In anything you do, you got a partner, team, you got a role. Everybody's gonna play a role. Now, I got weaknesses, Tori got strengths. Some of her strengths are my weakness. My strengths are her weakness. But I also look at my wife, her role, I don't really have a role for her. More like this compliment. Let's make each other better. Now, I can tell everybody on this radio station national, I don't fix nothing. I don't have a desire to fix anything. I don't like fixing anything. It makes my head hurt. Okay? I hate reading directions. I don't put stuff together. But she loves doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be the great supervisor. I'm going to read it. I'll be the muscle. You need me to tighten it up or doing that. But I'm like, I put that together. But as a man, she will tell you this. I do feel like I'm supposed to provide. I don't believe that she should have to take care of me. I was just raised different. No woman should.
I think most men was raised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I should be a proud of my family. But she doesn't mind, hey, let me help out too. I don't mind her compliment. We work as a team to make sure our family's good.
So how does how oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, as a protector, that's something I was raised too.
Right.
Protect your household and your family. I raised my sons the same way. I don't think she should have to protect me, but I know she got my back. So I guess I look at it more a compliment, not as a role. Like everybody plays a role, but it really what works for you. I don't think there's a set. Women shouldn't be doing this, men shouldn't be doing that. What works for you in your household?
Right. Okay, so just real quick, we're gonna try to get the volume situation squared away. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
So Legacy, we just getting a lot of feedback that the volume for me and Mills is extremely low. And then they said there was a lot of static in the background, so I just want to make sure. Guys, just give us a minute or so. We're not gonna log off, but it's gonna be just a little bit of silence while we try to correct this. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So,
All
all
right.
right. If you guys, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. All right. So, hopefully we got my mic fixed. I think we should have Brian's fixed because Tori's yours was good. All right. So, let's see. Let me check my little. Let's see. All right. I'm just waiting to get some feedback. Okay, cool. All right. So they can hear me.
All right.
Let me see about Brian.
Yeah, Brian, give me a mic check. Yeah, can y'all hear me? Mic coming through.
All right. Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Brian, say something.
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Hello, mic check.
Okay, good. All right. So we back good.
All right.
All right, so we're sorry about that. Just had to get a few little technical difficulties out. Let me know if it's static. If you guys hear a lot of static or
Or
feedback.
humming. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know somebody had said something about humming. So I'm trying to make sure that y'all can hear us. Okay.
Oh, so Brian, okay, I don't think they can hear you. So Brian, say something else. We got to make sure we got Brian's mic.
Check, mic check. Mic check.
No.
Brian, say something again, because they can.
Mic check, mic check.
Mm-mm.
Do it one more time, Brian. Mic check, mic check. One more time. Mic check, mic check.
It's low.
Okay, the static is gone. So we
Somebody
just
said Mr. Brian can be heard clear.
he can.
He can, yeah. They say they hear him.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that sounded better.
Okay, so listen, I guess if just give us feedback, man. If you got my number, just text me and let me know. If you can't hear Brian for whatever reason,
Kusha said, yes, Mr. Brian can be heard clear.
okay. So you got just all right. So then we should be good. Okay, so we'll just pick up kind of where we left off at, with the roles or whatnot. So just to be clear, like I said, I don't want to sound chauvinistic or anything like that, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with roles being reversed in a relationship, man. Whatever works for your particular household, man,
absolutely.
do it, right? Now,
So then what was he talking? What specifically was he talking
I think specifically
about?
what he's talking about is just roles outside of the household. When we're talking about kids, when we're talking about teenagers, when they're confused because they don't know how to be young men anymore. They don't know how to be young women because, once again, we live in a society to where
There's no definition of
there's
a role.
no definitions of roles anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was a time back in the day to where boys wore pants, girls wore dresses or skirts. Now, it's obvious, man, you get guys that wear dresses.
Yeah.
They wear skirts, man, women wear clothes that are designed for men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. That was just something that, that I felt was, I was just curious to get people's feedback on that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, once again, that's one of those situations where, you're going to have a variety of opinions on that. Some folks may find something wrong with it, others may not. And some folks like myself are really indifferent on it. I'm just always one of those guys, man, whatever's good for you, it has to be good for everyone else.
I guess just with that comment, it's kind of like it leaves room. It's gray area. It leaves room for like, well, what do you mean by that? Because you could have a single parent household, or nowadays there's like a 2-parent household of the same gender, or so yeah, these teenagers or even the parents, society now is completely different. So, I mean, you have 2 men who, are married to each other raising a son. So,
All right, we're just trying to see if we can get the video back going.
I'll stay with us if you can hear us. We're still here.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah,
happened
Shantae, I see that. I'm just on some old school
No,
stuff.
it's mine too. Like mine is delayed as well.
All right, so we back live, man.
Yeah.
All right, so once again, man, big apologies. You know, we're just trying to get everything right, but I think we are good to go now. So if you are following this, man, give us a big thumbs up. If you can see us and you can hear us and everything sounds clear, so that we can go ahead and get into the meat of our discussion tonight.
Vibe
All right,
in the
so we just
building.
want to make sure that everything was good before we got into this juicy topic. So if you're having a hard time hearing us or seeing us, you know, definitely say something, show us something, so that we can get everything back where it needs to be at.
Yay. Okay.
There you go. I see
Thumbs
my
up.
old school homeboy Jerry in the building. So what up? What up? Okay, we got a couple of thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thank y'all.
All right, man. Look, let's get to it, man. All right, we done BS'd around long enough. All right, so the topic of discussion tonight was: has rap music / the rap culture had a negative impact on youth sports? All right, so this is something I want everybody that's tuned in right now to chime in on. We want to know what your opinions are, all right, because we're definitely going to be interactive tonight so that we can address, you know, some of the concerns that you guys may have, reiterate some of the statements or opinions that you guys have or whatnot, because, you know, I think this is a huge opportunity for us to discuss this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll start off with you, Tori. I mean,
goodness.
you have young kids.
I do.
Go. What you got?
Okay, so I'll start with my oldest. You know, honestly, with my kids, they listen to the music. They listen to the music. But I would say that my kids are very well rounded and well versed when it comes to music. I don't think for my own kids that rap music has played a major role in how they do stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it has.
Nah.
But as far as sports is concerned, not in my kids, but the culture, I can see a difference. I can see how kids, you know, are trying to emulate, that rapper by, you know, the things that they say or how they deal with other people. So I would say rap has most definitely impacted our youth sports culture. I think it has. But with my kids personally, I don't think so because that's not all we listen to.
Okay. Brian, as the head coach, you coached a great group of 6-year-old kids last year. Do you think it had any impact on how those kids behaved? How they played?
No, I don't think it had an impact on how they played. But music, hip hop has an impact on sports, and it's been that way for a while. I want to say, shoot, even back when I was a kid, you know, back when Iverson came in the league back in the early days, hip hop's always been a part of sports. Now, in regards to coaches using that, what they're hearing, into the way they're coaching up some of these kids, I have seen that part of it. You know, if you really think about some of these songs we playing with kids, like these kids don't really know what they're rapping about.
They don't know what they're talking about.
You know, like, hold on, do we really want to put this into these kids?
Right.
With some of these songs. You know, I'm cool with these dancing songs, the kids like that. And I'll play that song for my 6-year-old because they like to do
The
little
dances,
like
in the end zone and
I'm
stuff
cool
like
with
that.
You know, have fun. You know, it should be fun. But I refuse to play a song that's about drugs or sex. Well, I mean, what a 6-year-old need to hear about that?
Right.
So I do think there's certain things that in the hip hop music, like we can play it for our own personal stuff, but I mean, really, do you want your 6-year-old, should they be singing it? Like, I seen one team, they straight cussing up the storm the whole song. They made their own song for their own team, and it's a cuss word thing. Like, hold on, my son won't be on that team singing that. You know, I don't care if it's the theme song for the team or not. So I do think it has a part because now you have these 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds rapping songs that ain't got nothing to do with the game, ain't got nothing to do with positive life. It's about drugs. It's about, you know, grab my nuts, stuff like that. Like, come on, 6 and 7-year-olds.
All right. So, Coach B, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, right?
Go ahead.
Now, as a president of our organization, I strictly prohibited music being played with our kids walking onto the field and, you know, along with a few other things because I didn't want to encourage, you know, that type of behavior, right? And, you know, I got a lot of ridicule for that. Oh, man, it's just kids. Let them be kids. Let them have fun. You were one of the coaches that still brought your music out. Now, you asked me.
I would ask you.
You wouldn't ask me. And I said, man, you know what? I'll go ahead and let you do it this time and this time only because you already got your kids and stuff over there and they already hyped up or whatnot. But the deal was this. I didn't care about the cursing. When I said I didn't care about it, what I meant is this. Let me rephrase that because that didn't sound right.
You told me make sure it's clean.
The cursing is not the only thing that I don't want to hear, right? Because you can still have a clean version of a song with a negative message, right? You know, trapping this and slapping that and screwing this and, you know, to me, all that stuff is inappropriate for a child, right? Well, they listen to it with their parents. Well, we're not their parents, all right? My partner Jerry put on here, no question it has, especially kids without strong role models. So when you have these kids that don't have strong role models and they're looking at us to be the role model, but we're role modeling negative behavior and we're condoning negative behavior in the form of these rap lyrics and these songs and these messages, what degree of responsibility do we take when that kid goes to school and uses the N-word, a 6-year-old kid? What degree of responsibility do we take as coaches when, you know, you got a 10-year-old kid, you know, pointing at another kid like he's shooting him after he make a tackle, you know, or what have you, you know? So for me, I definitely think that the rap culture has had a negative impact on youth sports. Now, once again, let me say this so that I don't sound like a hypocrite. I listen to rap music every day. It's the only music I really listen to. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I'm a 40-year-old guy who's learned, that everything that's put out there isn't real.
So what do you and your son listen to in the car?
Honestly, I don't listen to music with my son.
Okay.
And that may be hard to believe, but I've caught my son listening to music. And I'm like, nah, you can't listen to that.
What makes him listen to that music?
I mean, the thing is just out there. I don't think that you don't have to search for rap music. It's there.
Right.
It's on literally every social media platform. You know what I'm saying?
Social media, the games,
the radio,
that they play.
the games. It's there. You know what I'm saying? And, once again, I'm not bashing hip hop or whatever, because I do think that hip hop it serves a great purpose. There's a lot of positive and inspirational rappers out there, hip hop artists, that motivate and inspire, the culture. I'm not mad at anyone for, basically depicting their life in an art form.
Right.
So if I went through some struggles and I want to put that in a song to tell other folks, look, hey, I've been through all this stuff and I've come out of it. I'm not perfect. Man, I'm all ears to that, man. I'm going to applaud that. But it may not be appropriate for a child. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. So when I do see these kids out there, basically emulating what the latest rap video is, I'm just kind of like, man, you know what? I feel like my obligation and my responsibility to those kids is to say, hey, listen, it's cool to express yourself, you know what I'm saying, but just make sure that you're doing it in a positive manner. You know what I'm saying? Because, we talked about this off air, right? And I gave y'all my thoughts on Young Jeezy. I'm not a Young Jeezy fan at all. Why? Because his kids don't listen to rap music. You know what I'm saying? His kids are going to college. But he'll poison our kids' mind with thinking selling dope and shooting folks and, putting prices on people's head and getting drunk and all this other stuff is cool. It's
so
cool.
Why does that? Okay. Okay. What do you mean by that? So you don't respect, or not respect, but you don't listen to Young Jeezy because he doesn't have his kids listen to the stuff that he raps about?
Right. I mean, if it's not good enough for your kids, why would it be good enough for our kids?
Maybe he's not selling to the kids. He's selling to other adults. It's our role as a parent. It's our responsibility as a parent
Agreed.
to say, hey, I don't think you should be listening to that. Like if we're listening to a playlist, let's say I have my Meek Mill playlist on in the car and all my kids are in the car and something comes on talking about like that song that Megan and Cardi B made.
Yeah.
My kids do not listen to that at all.
But if it's on the radio, like, is it not for kids? The radio is like, you know what I'm saying?
The
Like, radio's
radio
for
just
everybody.
bleeps out the cuss words.
Right. But you don't have to be 18 and up to listen to the radio.
Right. Which
But,
is why it's on you who's playing that radio. Now, if the kids are hearing it, let's say at school, which is usually like for basketball, they have a playlist that they listen to. And so that's where my daughter, she would hear some of the songs. And I'm like, I can't get with that song. But then it's on us to say, hey, this is what this song is talking about. You can hear it, but it's our responsibility to say, hey, it ain't like that. You better not do that. So I can't even be mad at Young Jeezy for saying, oh, don't listen to it. But I'm still going to rap about it because that's what's selling right now. Because that's what adults and other people are buying.
Right. Okay. And I mean, and I can feel that because ultimately it's the parents' responsibility to raise their kids, right? It's not Young Jeezy's responsibility.
Exactly.
As far as he's concerned, he said, I'm doing a damn good job. My kids are going to college. My kids ain't never been to jail. They never been in trouble with the law. So I'm doing my job, and he's probably saying y'all need to do the same thing when it comes to y'all's kids. But what I'm saying is this. It's hard for me to respect someone that knows that what they're doing is detrimental, period. Not to just kids, because even some of these guys that are adults, even some of these women that are adults, you know what I'm saying, that consciously make their own decision to live a life that they think is real because it's perpetrated by somebody who don't live that life. All right. Now, once again, I'm not putting all the responsibilities on rappers, man. I listen to rap music every day. Every day. And the rap music I listen to ain't positive.
Right.
All right? Only difference is I know,
You know right from
what's
wrong.
real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? I know if I go pull out the blicker and I go smoke 10 fools, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no paying off the judge. You know, it ain't no, I'm going to rap about it on the next song and tell you the conclusion. No, you already know what the conclusion is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't go out there and live my life like it's a rap song without suffering real world, real life consequences. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, man, these kids, they are so misguided that they think that's the way to go because it's glorified. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff that is glorified on screen. It's glorified in the music. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, as a result, man, we end up losing a lot of our kids because of that. Go ahead, Brian.
I won't say it just on music though. So I do want to. I get what you're saying, but it's not just on music. It's on the access these kids have to everything, social media, TikTok. I mean, wherever you look at, they have it's access.
Right.
So they can see everything now. You know, we listen to music, we watch movies, but these kids, it's in their face all day, every day on every electronic device. It doesn't matter where they go. So I feel as parents, coaches, people that have access to these kids, we gotta be that person in the middle to let them know what you're seeing on social media, that person flying or doing on social media, that's not real.
Right.
They're doing it for likes.
Right.
And that's the society we live in. People rather be liked than respected.
True.
I care less about how many likes. I know grown men right now that will get mad if you don't like their post on Facebook.
Yep.
And will delete you and say you hating them because you won't like their post.
Yep.
They'd rather get you to like their post than just be respected. That's an issue.
Yeah.
You cannot be 30 years old as an adult, want to be liked and not respected. You can take all the likes you want.
Okay.
I'd rather be respected.
So,
That's the problem with society.
so let me pose this question. How much respect do you find in rap music nowadays?
Not much, because a lot of them are fake. A lot of them just rapping about stuff because they know how to make it rhyme and sound good. They just rapping about stuff.
Some
It's
of
not
them
a
don't
story
even
to
rhyme
It's not
no
real.
more.
A lot of these rappers not real. I mean, a lot of them are frauds. Let's be 100. A lot of them are frauds. A lot of them rapping about stuff they don't know nothing about. They watching they rapping about what they saw in the movie, what they saw in Power the other night. And act speaking on like they know it. A lot of them don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Back when I grew up listening to rap, I mean, Jay-Z had a story. Nas, they had a story. Those are the type of raps I like. There's a story to it. All these rappers now, they all sound alike. They all rapping about the same thing. They mumbling. They all sound like this. And then a lot, like I said, they're frauds.
Okay. So I don't want to sound like an old head, but when I first started listening to rap, the old folks said the same thing that I'm saying now. You know, because, you know, when I, like these young kids, if you ask them who Jay-Z is, they don't know who Jay-Z is.
They know who J. Cole is.
They don't know who Nas is. But, you know, I actually know what? I got to give a shout out to J. Cole, man. J. Cole, I feel, is one of those guys that does it the right way. He does it the right way. You know what I'm saying? He's going to tell you a story, and he ain't going to clean it all up for you. But the end result of his message is typically positive. You know what I'm saying? It's typically positive. You know, he's making sure that you leave with a little bit more than what you came with. You know, he's still on the educational tip. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to J. Cole and rappers that are like him. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, I'm not saying that every rapper has to be positive or every rap song has to be inspirational because every movie's not that way.
Right.
You know, we go and watch movies to see the doom and gloom, the horror, all the blood, you know, how many people this alien can kill or whatever and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we know that that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people aren't going into these movies, making these movies saying, this actually happened. This is something real. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, now don't get me wrong. There was a movie out there that was making people hit up movie theaters and shoot people up. I don't remember what movie it was, but there was a movie. But I think movies and songs, they hit different. They hit
But
different.
again, that goes back to parents, mentors, whatever role you have in these kids' life, we got to be involved. We got to be engaged with these kids. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, and I'll blame it. I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes we give these kids these tablets and laptops and these devices. We don't know what they're watching.
Right.
And they actually babysitting our kids more than we actually pay attention to our kids.
Right.
So that's the influence they get because we ain't spending time with them. But these devices and social media spend time with them. So that's where we, as parents, where we are to these kids, had to step in there and get them off those devices and spend more time with them so we can let them know what's real and what's not.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and I think that's big, what you just said, man. You know, a lot of these kids, rap music is raising a lot of our kids because we're absent. Mm-hmm. You know, you go check your child's device, you don't know what they into.
Right.
Some of us don't even know what the hell to look at this point. I'm not going to lie. I go to some of these tablets, I'm like, what is this game? And you think it's just a regular game, but there are chats in that game. Like, parents, check your kids' devices, check every app that they've downloaded, check their browsing history, because that crap is all in there.
Look, I'm gonna see if y'all remember this, right? And it's not really necessarily have anything to do with rap, but it does have to do with how these external influences have a negative impact on our children, right? Mm-hmm. So do y'all remember the little character Momo or I think it was Momo. Y'all help me out, audience. I think it was Momo. It was some type of character that was on social media that was encouraging our children to kill themselves.
I do. Yes. I remember hearing about that.
And
yes.
Like the thing was, they were hiding
hiding
this
it
character
within the message,
within all of these different cartoons,
yes.
and then the character would just show
up
and tell them, "Hey, drink
Go
this.
Do this.
Hey,
yep.
do this, do that, or whatever."
Yeah.
And the thing is,
that's crazy.
Parents had no idea of this, you know, and like this was a national story because the schools had to get involved and say, hey, man, you know what, Momo, Mimo, whatever the damn thing name was, you know what I'm saying, you know, has been, you know, basically has infiltrated the school system, and it was coming up with some of the lessons and things of that nature. So my thing is this, if we get that alarm when you have Mimo or Momo, whatever the damn thing is, somebody going to tell me what that thing name is eventually. You know what I'm saying? If we get that alarmed when these fictitious characters come on and say, hey, man, I think you should go ahead and kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't we have that same outrage when we have entertainers or rappers telling our kids, you know what? Hey, man, because, I mean, they're rappers. What's that, Juice World or whatever and stuff? I think that's his name. I think he ended up dying over overdose or something like that. But like all of his songs, he was talking about, I think I want to be dead or
kill myself.
I want to kill myself. It's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Now that's to one extreme, you know, but we're also talking about like the violence. You know, we were all at nationals when we seen that one 6-year-old kid literally beat the crap out of another 6-year-old kid for scoring a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder where this violence come from. And to me, I just think that the music has a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I get amped up listening to certain music. Still to this day.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I want to get in the mode to really get my blood flowing and stuff, you know, I may play some 666 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot.
6 Mafia? 3-6 Mafia?
Well, that's what 3-6 is all the same thing. It was 666 at first.
Oh.
See, there you go, man. You got to know the history, baby. It's, you know.
Man, I ain't never heard Fred listen to nobody but Too Short.
I jammed Too Short too, but he's not positive.
Too Short is a man.
You know, I definitely can't let my son listen to that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, real talk, you know what I'm saying? It's just like we have gotten to a point to where I feel like we need to be more instrumental in pushing our kids away from the negativity. You know what I'm saying? Shantae also said, like Kendrick Lamar, he does it the right way. You know, I listen to Kendrick Lamar. I think he got a lot of good stuff out there. You know, so it's not about there not being good rap out there to listen to. It's are we putting our kids in front of that? You know what I'm saying? Or are we just allowing the kids to follow the trends?
Yeah.
You know, so I know running a youth program, coaching a youth program, I've seen the direct impact of the self-esteem, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know, how these kids interact with each other. Because we all know that hip hop is a very competitive culture. Who got the biggest chain? Who got the best clothes? Who got the best looking woman? All this other stuff, what have you. So a lot of these kids that don't have that stuff, you know, they're looked down upon. They're bullied. They're picked on. You know what I'm saying? The ones who do have it, you know, feel like they're better than the next person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those situations where I'm gonna.
Why do you think it's just rap? Because I know said had said something about like heavy metal. Going through the comments, how heavy metal also possibly has a negative impact on
like
the school shootings and stuff like that. So why is it that like heavy metal goes to a certain class of people and then rap goes into youth sports? Like what? I don't know. I think it's just crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't listen to heavy metal, so I don't know what the message is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be negative as hell. I mean, I think, man, the last time I even knew that heavy metal was relevant was Ozzy Osbourne got kicked out of San Antonio for biting the head off a bat. You know what I'm saying, or whatever stuff. They was talking about like devil worship. So I've always kind of associated heavy metal with like the devil worship and stuff like that. And it may not be. Maybe that's just a perception. But I do know with the music that I listen to, that I grew up on, the music that I love to this day. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to say that the majority of it is negative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and once again, I mean, I'm not condemning any rappers. In fact, man, I'm about to give a huge shout out to one of my closest friends for dropping an album that I think is dope as hell. I listened to it on the web. I listened to like 20 something, so I listened to every song, and I thought all the songs was banging.
What's
you know
his
what
name?
I'm saying? Wayne C, the coach. Well, I'm gonna give him a proper plug. You know, once we get to that part of the show or whatever.
Okay.
But like, you know, he's been in the rap game, you know, for years and years, for decades. You know what I'm saying? And I think he makes great music. His music is not geared toward kids, you know, and he'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the artists that make music that's geared toward kids, you know what I'm saying, that promotes that negative lifestyle that we know that they're not living. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's geared towards kids. I really don't. I don't think it is.
Well, look, I'll just say this. And I wish Legacy could really get on camera because Legacy is a platinum artist, you know, platinum producer. You know, he's independent. He's able to, and for those of you who don't know, Legacy is actually the one who produces the show for us or whatnot. This is his studio or whatnot. But the thing is this, because he's independent, he has more artistic control of what he releases. A lot of these guys that are on these big labels, they don't have that control.
Right.
We just went through the whole deal with Kanye, and Kanye basically talking about how, you know, certain people influence the music that's put out there. You know what I'm saying? And they're basically saying if you got a positive message, or you can't release that. But if you're talking about, you know, the destruction of the black community, the black family, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you can talk about that all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all right, Mr. Legacy has joined the show. Look, quick switcheroo. All right. So he's on the show now. So if you could kind of introduce yourself and what it is you do with Street Legion, and you know, do I even pronounce it? Is it Street Legion?
Street Legion.
I like to call it
Like
Street Legion.
Yeah, you want us to be
like
a bunch
Street
of
Legion.
a bunch of street demons. It's Legion, Ligon.
Gotcha.
So, CEO and founder of Street Legion, home of the independent artists. So, you know, we cover everything from the radio station. We have our own radio station for independent artists. We do have a standard that we definitely try our best not to promote drugs or, you know, excuse my language, Tori, but talking about bitches, this, that. So we got a very strict guideline because we're working with the FCC and stuff of that nature, right? And then we also have different things, just all built for the independent artists. Like you said, artistic creativity, targeting, marketing, these different things to take care of the independent artists so they don't have to scoot below whatever just to sell records and stuff of that nature. So that's the whole thing about Street Legion as a whole, just home of the independent artists and giving you control your narrative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you're on the show. So I'm gonna interview you for a second because you are someone that has your hands on music every day, all day.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you listen to our intro, he produced the beat to our intro or whatnot. This is somebody. If you see the platinum plaques on the wall, like this guy is serious about the music. Right now, once again, by you being the home of the independent artists, you basically have allowed artists to promote whatever it is that they feel comfortable promoting, but you also put limitations on what your company will put out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So why is it that more people won't do what you do?
Because of the knowledge, right? Or either they have the knowledge or the effort to apply the knowledge that you have. It is very hard when you don't have a machine behind you. So it's knowledge, the applying of the tools, and finances. You know what I'm saying? So most people think if you take $250,000 to promote a single and you break it down to every 10%, the lowest artist, independent artist, can do at least do $100,000 for $200 if they invest in themselves properly. You see what I'm saying? To get on the same playing field. But most people want to be famous instead of rich and smart. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will sacrifice their creative freedom to be on the big stage next to the whoever. You know what I'm saying? In the industry, whether it's death metal, soft rock, punk rock, hip hop, jazz, blues, you know what I'm saying? The core business is still the same.
So do you feel like, since we're talking about rap infiltrating the youth sports, do you feel like a lot of these rap artists, kind of going with what Brian said, a lot of these rap artists are really just rapping because it's what's selling?
Well, it's like this. Do you expect Tim Duncan, the Spurs, to fix the streets on the east side when you got politicians you pay taxes to every day? So do you expect who else? The Brahma Bulls, who just came down here to build community centers on the east side or whatever? No, you don't. So it's the same thing. So do you expect, but they expect rappers to build community centers and give back and fix the streets to help the community be better. They put more responsibility and blame and crucifixion on the rap artists versus people that's really in charge of the situation. Get it. Jesus told us to trap or die, and his son went to college. Who fault is that? Is that our fault? That's not Jesus' fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got other people that pushing that machine, as Jay-Z,
Right.
the Rick Rubin, Russell Simmons. We all know Jay-Z is Michael Jordan of record companies. He'll fuck up your label, but he's a great rapper. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these other entities that was going there, right? So same thing with it was the people that told NWA, use the FBI note to get more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So but the people that told the 17-year-old kids to do this didn't get blamed.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to Amazon, Kyrie. So you see what I'm saying? So but we expect athletes, rappers, and these people to do the jobs of parents, coaches, politicians, judges, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I said an hour CD versus you having your kid for 13 years, what that says about you as a parent.
Okay. Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Because I got a different view on that.
Okay.
It's not, in my opinion, it's not the fact that, the community is placing that responsibility on these rappers. What responsibilities that the rappers have to the community, just period, because we know that politicians have a responsibility to the community. They're elected to take care of their communities, right? A lot of these artists, whether they're elected to those positions or not, they're certainly elevated by the community. So with the elevation from the community should bring forth some type of responsibility. Because if you're an artist, and I'm saying, you know what, man, you have so much influence and so much power that we've given you, because most of these artists would do anything to be put in a position of elevation, right? You're an artist and you're a producer, so you understand exactly where I'm going with it. Promotion. Marketing. Why do artists do that? So that they can put themselves in a position to have influence, right? Because if they have influence, that influence translates to power. Power translates to responsibility. See, you can't go through all that and get that power and say, you know what, I don't have a responsibility anymore.
It's like that quote where they say, to who much is given, much is required.
But it's still, but I'm sure the hypocrisy in that though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, everybody, you know, they say Jordan the GOAT, who never spoke up for black people, never spoke up for any community. Now, white, black, Avatar, Smurf, no community.
He was just who he was.
You know what I'm saying? Even when a man forged his name and sent the check to somebody in North Carolina, he didn't speak up. Whether it was for a bad cause or whatnot, right? But like I said, unlike politicians and rappers or musicians, they are not held to the same standards as politicians, polices, and anybody in police, like any other. You know what I'm saying? Only in America where the entertainers are responsible for being the voice of something that serious.
Yeah.
Think about even if you look at. I mean, shit. We see the Democrats been doing it for years. When it's time for election, what they do? Bill Clinton stood in Harlem and played his saxophone forever.
Right.
Stood by who was ever. You know what I'm saying? When it came, Democrats do it all the time. You know, so from Obamas to everybody, they stand next to who? The power couple. You got Michelle Obama, who they standing next to? Jay-Z and Beyonce. They the top of the food chain. So only in America where we as people or a country allow or hold entertainers to that standard. You see what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, you know, God rest the dead or whatever. What I'm saying, but you know, it's all good until you cut the puppet strings.
Okay, so let me ask you this: so, do you feel that artists have no responsibility?
No, I'm not.
They're just free to have that because you know we all preach freedom of speech and freedom of artistic creation or creativity or whatnot. You know, my only question is, at what point does me constantly telling you, hey man, go pull your gun out, go pull your gun out, go pull your gun out. Hey man, slap that bitch. Hey man, fuck him. At what point does me constantly driving that same message over and over when somebody actually does that, you say, damn, I ain't have nothing to do with that. I had maybe a small percentage of something to do with that, or you know, it don't even matter to me because
Take that song off a repeat.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Tupac was glorified for his thug life action, but crucified by politicians when he addressed and exposed different things how the system works. You know, it was all good as long as you putting the cocaine and everything in our community, but as soon as you start talking about how your rap music is next to your rap music is tied to the record labels that own privately owned prisons. So these different things versus independent artists versus big budget artists. You said in the beginning, creativity, right? So when somebody if Fred signed a record deal and you get 21 million until I make my money back, you don't have a voice. We saw it in the last 5-6 years. Beyonce was married for 5 years. And Columbia Records said, you still gonna put this I'm a Single Ladies album out. I know you got her. She started doing stuff about with her husband and about being married until that deal was done.
Right, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to that creativity, like I know people get mad when I say this, but Obama, he was the face of the Democrats, right? And people said the president can't do too much because of this, because of that, which is true, right? But when Trump got in office, right, it's like they let the president do this and this slap on the wrist. It was one mistake could be crucifixion. The other mistake was entertainment. So who do we blame? So when you talk about rap music, or let's just say the culture of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? If you know the culture of hip hop, but going on 50 years now, we after our 50th birthday or whatever, it started off sometimes it made me wonder how I keep from going under. Right. The message of reporting what's going on in our neighborhoods. So if I'm surrounded by violence all the time, I'm reporting to the world what's going on. It used to be you respect the person that's the shooter. Now y'all respect the person that gets shot. We used to respect the trappers. Now we respect the junkies. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how the culture go. But that's just a shift of the higher power. Power, position, right, equals influence. But you need money for all that. A lot of artists go broke before they even get fame. It's a crate of demo tapes. Lady Gaga got dropped the day she got signed. Interscope was like, nah, we ain't with that. Akon signed, and now he building some stuff in Africa. He ain't put no more music out. You see what I'm saying? It's just different standards. Like them, they're not telling people to pop pills and doing this, at least in our language. But
Right.
well, what you think? Oh, we talk about killing this, killing that, killing this. Us as a culture, urban as they call us, right? When it comes to hip hop music, it's easy to crucify us. That's because we're good at crucifying us.
Right. It's okay. So that's really my whole point. Like, I don't even want to discuss what the rap executives are doing, what the prison systems are doing, or whatever and stuff, because that has, in my opinion, no bearing on how we treat each other. You know what I'm saying? So before we can talk about the influence that others have on us, let's talk about the influence that we have on each other. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm constantly telling you, man, you ain't nothing. Man, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. It don't matter to me if a white person is telling me that. It don't matter to me if a Democrat or Republican is telling me, man, I got to deal with the person that I'm, like you said, that I live with, that I see every day. Right? We don't. Because the message, in my opinion, is put out there is that of hate, conflict, territory, sex, drugs, and any other negative stereotype that the music can identify. All right. Now, I'm not saying it's all like that, but it's enough music out. It's enough music out there like that to drown out the positive stuff. Everybody that's in the ghetto don't live a ghetto lifestyle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that comes from a hard upbringing ain't because their mom and dad was crack addicts. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that that comes from the hood, you know what I'm saying, you know, ain't F students. You know, you still have a lot of that positive stuff that comes from the concrete. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a lack of not controlling the narrative. When you talk about independent artists versus big artists,
right? So now we're talking.
And that's my whole point when I talk about prison system and stuff like that. I'm giving examples of, like, you can't do anything if you don't have a voice.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. So like an independent artist, if you know what I'm saying, if you're not lazy, I can't say all, but if you're not lazy, you can control what you want to put out there versus a person that then bought you and tell you to, this is what y'all gonna rap about.
So
this is why you target this. You know what I'm saying? Targeted marketing.
Right. So this is my point when you say that. We elevate those artists that leave us voiceless. And we put down the artists, you know what I'm saying, that speak on our behalf because they're not speaking to the publicity. You know, they don't have the chains, they don't have the Bentleys, they don't have the Rolls Royces. I look at the artists such as yourself, you know.
That's not what I got from that though.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's. I'm telling you that's reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't that. I'm not taking it. I'm not adding to anything you said. I'm just giving you my perception of the music industry, period.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of independent artists that's starving right now. They got great music. They got great messages. The record executives don't want to hear that because it doesn't preach to the narrative. He mentioned something about saying because we don't control the narrative. But we allow people who don't control the narrative to speak on our behalf. But how can they speak on our behalf when they don't even control their own narrative? When they can't control their own music that they put out.
Right.
So why am I going to elevate Young Jeezy, you know what I'm saying, who obviously can't control his own narrative, you know what I'm saying, if he's allowing someone to say, Young Jeezy, you got to speak about trapping or dying.
But I don't think that's us elevating it. I think it's us responding to what's being put out for them to us. We hear, hey, this on the radio. We hear it on TikTok. We hear it on, all these platforms of music. Let's just say, since we're using Young Jeezy comes out on A, B, C, D, and E, where the independent is only on A and B. Because we hear A, B, C, D, and E, that's what we're receiving, and that's what we're wanting to play because we hear it more.
But who's in charge of that?
The people.
When you're talking about the labels and stuff of that nature, so it's just
not
like
the artist.
Yeah, so like a lot of the artists, because we know a lot of people don't want to say it, but Ti birthed the trap era. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow. But you see where birth. I see what you're saying, but what's being birthed out of that type of situation. But how much of that, do we blame the culture for actually, impacting football when we got coaches like you Mills, you got the Marikis, these different people. So you got people, parents. So you mean to tell me, Trap or Die, which came out in 2004, still have more impact than football coaches and these different people?
Well, I think it does when those football coaches subscribe to that lifestyle, because they never gonna let Trap or die because they're still out here talking about trapping or dying. Let me go back and say this. All right, so when it comes to the influence, right? These rap executives, right? And most of them who happen to be non-black, control the narrative of what goes on in our neighborhoods, because they will okay or reject whatever the narrative that they feel is what they want us to hear, all right, or they don't want us to hear. Now, this is no secret, because almost every major artist acknowledges this when the money stops coming in. But when these jokers is on top, you'll never hear that. But the moment, oh man, well, we ain't cutting you no more checks. Man, they pimp me. Man, they did this, they did that. You know what I'm saying? Because the money stopped coming in. So my last point is this, because I'm gonna take it off of the executive, right? Okay. Y'all remember, what was that movie with Eddie Murphy? I want to say it was Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, with Angela Bassett.
Okay.
With Angela Bassett, right? Mm-hmm. So you remember when Eddie Murphy jumped into that preacher's body, and he went up there, he was like, oh, shit. And they was like, can I say that? He said, look, evil is good. And he started talking all this stuff. Really, I mean, that was a funny scene to me, but really what I think he was speaking was this. Look, man, nobody wants to be around good all the time. Bad shit is good at times. You know what I'm saying? And we all enjoy some bad stuff. I don't give a damn what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? There's certain parts of life that are just more fun when they're done the wrong way. All right? So once again, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy some music to where I can just lose myself and become Rambo or whatever, and just, I just want to walk up to somebody and slap the shit out of them. I can't do that in real life without going to jail, but I can vicariously experience that through a rap song. Nothing wrong with that, right? I'm talking about for the artist who sells his soul, you know what I'm saying, to perpetrate a fraud like it's real, knowing good and damn well it ain't nothing real about that. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back and they beg for the mercy of the community to save them when that slave master no longer feeds them. Now they all coming back. Man, the industry messed up. Bro, that's after you done promoted, you done sold 10 million copies of, F this dude, do this wrong, do that wrong. Now all of a sudden the industry done pimped you out. You know what I'm saying? And you become a victim. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't subscribe to. Because once again, if you only feel the responsibility for you and your family, and I gotta take care of my family. All right, cool. Them checks gonna come in. You're gonna have that Bentley, Rolls Royce, house on the hill, all this other stuff, what have you. You're doing what Young Jeezy does, and you still sending your kids to Ivy League schools, and you telling them, man, don't listen to this music or whatnot. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, you know what I'm saying, when you have to deal with the harsh reality of, you see that guy right there, he got 99 years. Why? Because he believed everything that you said was real. Because you made your music so real.
Oh,
listen,
you can't just sit here and blame
You've been a hypocrite right now, Fred.
No, that's not me.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Hold on.
Oh my God,
listen, I'm gonna make one more point. And I'm gonna turn it over.
Okay, go ahead, me dog.
Now, look. If you have, then don't incriminate yourself, right? Yeah. If you have, don't incriminate yourself. But I don't think you've ever sold drugs in your life. You know what I'm saying? But I can go to damn me any rap video right now, and it's gonna give me a fucking tutorial on how to cook it up, whip it up, get on the street, cut it up, serve, and do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that has a negative impact on these children that think that's cool?
It has a negative impact, yes. But I don't think that you can say that that is the reason why this person is doing this and getting in trouble.
I'm going to ask you one question, to be honest. Mm-hmm. You've never listened to a song and done something in that song?
No.
Never.
Not because of that song, but that's either because of I'm doing that with somebody else, or I've already questioned.
So hold on.
You
Music
cannot.
ain't never, like I said, if you ever listen to a song and be like, you know what, I'm going to go get that car, man, because that dude said 500 bands on something.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Like, for a while, like, you know, picture me rolling in my 500 Benz.
Right.
And I kept a 500, especially when I was in the military. I got the money, like, right?
Because of a song?
Yeah, because I wanted a 500 Benz because I couldn't tell me I was not going to be the next Tupac at one time in my life, right? But even your
husband said he's guilty of it.
Even,
Okay.
Oh, y'all wildin'.
Calm
Yo,
that
they
down.
wildin'. She blushing. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Put the camera on
All
Tori.
right.
Because Tori ain't being real.
She ain't being real. Tori be here acting.
Tori ain't being real.
Oh, you want to talk about that type of music?
No, he
Okay, but
said
I'm talking about
music.
some
He
real-
said
I didn't say
music.
rap. I just
Okay.
said
He didn't
music.
put no
All
genre
right.
on there. Look.
Damn, bro.
Look, hey, y'all see Tori? Look,
Listen.
put your feet down, Tori. It's okay. No, what I'm saying is even with that, right? Like, even with rap music or whatever, you know what I'm saying? My parents, you know, when I remember, and as a matter of fact, maybe like 3 months ago, I told my stepdad, like, I thought you threw my Tupac CD away. I found it in the back of your Benz. And this is like 96, 97. I'm like, I know it's mine because it still got the writing and stuff in there, right? But this is the thing about it. You know, living that thug life, saying thug life this and thug life that, right? Or whatnot. But you see, you look at, once again, controlling narratives, right? Before Death Row, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had The Apocalypse, Strictly for My, you know what I'm saying? And I look at the songs they push. Brenda Had a Baby, you know what I'm saying? Keep Your Head Up. Look at the songs they pushed before you got to a bigger platform or a platform with more liquid. So that's what I'm saying. Even if you look at Pac career, like dog, you went from Keep Your Head Up, you got your Dear Mamas, and you, boom, oh, now you over here.
Okay.
And so the narrative, so for everything is at the end of the day, you write about everything you said except one thing.
What's that?
And that's at the end of the day, the people that's in charge of the football culture or youth sports, there's that, like, it's like school. That when you put your kid in school, you trust those teachers and those principals to do right by your kid, right? Mm-hmm. Shield them from this, protect them from that, do this. At the end of the day, regardless of what those people may be saying or doing, when they come into your world, it's your job to, like, that or pick up the manner to be like X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't see it in your face, it's in your face. They want to say hip hop culture did this to John Morant, and hip hop did this. But guess who carries up under the NBA? And you see how quick they made an example of them, right? I done been through therapy, and I done did this, and I done did it. But what I'm saying, it's our job to, you know, let our kids know. We can't keep blaming everything on entertainment.
Now I got you. Now
that's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like, you know, you feel me?
Look, I want to clarify something because I don't want anyone that's listening to our podcast to think that I'm making an excuse for parents not parenting their kids. At the end of the day, everything that we do is a personal choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's forcing a song into a kid's ear. You know, most of the time that's by choice, right? Nobody's forcing a gun into a kid's hand or any of the other things, right? Those are personal choices that kids make, parents make, football coaches make, artists make, right? So everybody has their own individual responsibility to act accordingly. What I'm saying is this: as the president of a very popular football organization, I feel it is my duty and my obligation, and furthermore my responsibility, to put out the correct message to our kids. Now, does that mean everybody's going to receive that message? Of course not.
Right.
But you ain't going to catch Coach Fred pulling up to practice, you know what I'm saying?
Playing too short.
Blowing big, you know what I'm saying? Jamming too short, you know, none of that. Because once again, what I do in my personal life, you know what I'm saying, is not going to be reflected in my life when it comes to dealing with these kids. I tell people this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the ones who was really out there back in the day, that ain't a lifestyle that we glorify no more.
I don't think
You know what I'm saying? No, that lifestyle is glorified.
Well, you know why it's glorified, though?
Because it's money behind it.
But
that's the only reason.
But okay, so we talk about accepts and record labels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you see, it's 2 points I'm gonna make. A lot of record labels losing power. Now these kids right now, your son, they can sit here and do football drills and look handsome doing it, right?
Right.
Hair did, you know what I'm saying? Fly. And they do the drills and spin off. And they didn't get 1 million views on YouTube and got paid $6,000 or $7,000 a month by accident.
Right.
Right? So that's one thing. So with this generation, a lot of kids are making more than their mentors. And I don't know if you remember this, when they talking about playing college player, Deion Sanders made it an issue. Like, ain't no player at this college finna make more money than me.
Yeah.
Because they know how authority is being tested then, right? So we understand that a lot of these kids who probably ain't never sold no dope or whipped anything, and those that may be gang related, you know what I'm saying? So how the record label stay in power is, I'm going to give real gang members money. It's going to enhance everything. We're going to put life insurance on everybody. Boom. Okay, is that in your control? No, because you are influenced in the youth football arena. Then when it comes to you have the choice to be like, I'm gonna expose y'all, or I'm gonna let y'all bump this little dirt, or I'm gonna let y'all bump this NBA young boy, or whatever the situation may be. Mm-hmm. Now that's when you become accountable. If you know they red flagging or whatever they doing in their music, you see what I'm saying? When it comes to your world that you can control.
Right.
That's why I say, like, when you say has in some other football leagues, I really just started really researching football leagues. I don't know who's in charge of the coach, but those kids don't look like they probably warm up the gospel music. Who knows?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying?
Big shout out to Alamo City Coast, man. And they don't warm up the gospel music.
All right.
We done played them before. So
look, what are the but you see what I'm getting at
Right.
is my last point that I'm gonna turn it right back over. When you talk about even good message, you said something about Eddie Murphy and the Vampire in Brooklyn. I saw a lot of people giving J. Cole his props. And I ain't knocking Cole, but when your good message is disguised and unknowing, you would be exposed. Because when he went at No Name Gypsy, who's a rapper out of Chicago, by the way, he had to come forward like, well, I didn't know because I really don't read that much. I study as much as I sound like in my music. You see what I'm saying? So we got to watch who we glorify too as well, because, you know what I'm saying, the devil know the word according to those who believe in that type of thing as well. They can deliver those different things until somebody who really reason about their life expose you. Now you got to backtrack. So when you talk about the diversity of rap music being delivered and being impactful in our community, if we hold, like I said, the other people that's supposed to be in control of our community the same way we do rappers and stuff of that nature, I just feel like a lot of things will change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm going to say this. Man, I've never expected a rapper, an entertainer, or an athlete to be responsible for how I live. You know what I'm saying? I don't preach that to my kids. I don't preach that to the kids that I'm around or that I mentor, because that's just not reality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I say that these celebrities, if you want to call them, these entertainers, these athletes are elevated. When I say they're elevated, what I mean is this: there is a calculated strategy to put these people on pedestals of worship, of idolatry. You know what I'm saying? So that everything that they say is almost considered to be factual.
Only in this country, though.
So once again, for those of us who know better, you know what I'm saying? If we don't do better, then we're really the ones that's guilty. So when I'm out there and I'm saying, look, hey man, bruh, trust me, Lil Durk ain't smoked 30 dudes and still is rapping about it. You know what I'm saying? He not that guy. Now I'm not saying, I don't know how Lil Durk lived in his personal life. He may have smoked some folks. You know what I'm saying? But I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? If you're still around rapping about it. Because once again, you know what I'm saying? From what, and I hate to bring race into it, you know what I'm saying?
No, I was waiting on you to do it. Eventually you're going to have to.
Because my take on the race is going to be different than yours probably. Because when I say I hate to bring race into it, this is what I mean. I'm going to use this little side story. There was a lady who got fired for saying "for shizzle my nizzle" on air.
I saw that. You sent that
Right.
to me today. She be like 20 years.
She got fired from a job she was at for 20 years for saying "for shizzle my nizzle." Now, I don't know if this lady racist or not. You know what I'm saying? And really, I give two shits about it. You know what I'm saying? But for her to get fired for saying "for shizzle my nizzle," like, I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why in the hell would you fire somebody for saying? We say that all the time. Like, that is probably one of the dumbest sayings that I've heard. Not fuck with Snoop. You know what I'm saying? But for shizzle my nizzle is almost like cartoonish. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, right? We say it all the time. A white person says it, now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Well,
You
they
know what
had
I'm
to cut
saying?
the liability. That's business. That don't got anything to do with it. That's business.
But
you have to cut that liability.
But hold on. But who's making that a liability? Because I don't think nobody white is saying get her off the air. You know what I'm saying? I think the people that she offended are saying, well, hold on, you can't say that. You can't say that. So what I'm saying is, in rap music, you know what I'm saying? In rap music, if a white person, matter of fact, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. A white kid sung a rap song and lost his scholarship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
look at the time.
But black kids can sing that same song and it's gospel. Where's
Okay.
hypocrisy in that?
Well,
if
we
it's bad,
can't
it's
walk around
bad.
talking about
No,
some rednecks and
no,
all
no,
that.
Fred.
But
you
what-
wrong.
but let me hear your
definitely
opinion on
wrong
that.
now, Fred.
Let me hear your opinion on
Okay,
it.
for one, from just as a business standpoint, let me say this respectfully: white corporations will get rid of their own if it costs them their money.
yeah.
They're not gonna play that. So being in the time that it's sensitive, you know what I'm saying? If you say he and he go by a they on accident, you're gonna lose your job.
Right, but hold on.
I'm-
And I agree with you
Well,
on
let
that.
me
But we're
just say-
talking about rap, though.
We about to.
We talking about
we're
rap.
about to. If a company has a reputation, and a white woman saying for shizzle my nizzle on a higher caliber station or company, and they know, quote unquote, the black culture is sensitive right now, guess what they're gonna do?
Right.
They're gonna get ahead of it.
Okay.
And she
Right.
just
Look,
put herself in
That's
as
That's why.
So it don't got
hold
nothing
on.
to do with-
Right, okay, so answer this for me, because I want you to keep going with it.
okay.
Why are we sensitive? Because she said for shizzle my nizzle.
Okay, you
Our culture right
it's,
now.
It's the
the
culture right now.
culture.
So it's a lot of things that I feel like people be like, let's give white people a pass for it. No, fuck that. No, they don't get a pass.
Okay, this is
let me
good.
tell you,
This
let me
is
tell you
good.
why.
This is good.
Let me tell you why white people don't get a pass. Everybody love Eminem. How many albums Eminem done raped somebody in? Let's just talk. Let's
Okay.
name. Let's say the first 3.
Okay.
He ain't lose no endorsements. As a man, Nick Cannon married to Mariah Carey at the time. Let's take rap out of it. You know, if you want to see black people come together, disagree with a white person. Boy, you'll see We Are the World. You see what I'm saying? So when personally as a man, it comes a time when rap music don't play. I'm gonna still tie it in. When Eminem disrespected Nick Cannon's wife at the time, Nick Cannon was like, fuck the rap music. I want to see you face to face.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite sure Mills, I got a punchline for you. You know what I'm saying? But everybody rallied around this guy. No, Nick, this is that. Even though as a man, you won't let nobody disrespect your wife, or girlfriend, or whatever situation, or man, it's 2023, whatever all the above is.
Yeah.
But however, this man was glorifying raping women on his album for 3 albums and et cetera, et cetera. He even saying black girls are dumb, black girls are bitches, this and this. Dr. Dre bought the music to keep it quiet so he can sign them everything.
I'm
else.
loving this. Go ahead.
Okay, but, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm just saying the standards. Rick Ross said he dropped something in her cup and she didn't even know it. He couldn't even drink a Mountain Dew no more. He lost his Reebok deal. They almost took his beard from him. You see what I'm saying? Everything
Okay.
that.
But hold on. But who? Who took that from him?
The endorsement, the one
Right.
Kanye. Well, I don't got nothing
Right.
to do with
So,
but the corporation. But you see what I'm
but
saying, though. So those different standards when it comes to white and black.
Okay.
So on different levels. So this white lady probably was Martha Stewart. Therefore, shizzle my nizzle probably wouldn't affect her as much.
Okay.
You
Because
see
she's
what?
on there with.
All right. So check it. All those are great points, but I'm finna destroy all of it.
No, you ain't Fred.
I'm finna destroy it.
You're a football coach, bro. This is my arena.
No, I'm finna tell you why. I'm
Why?
finna tell you why.
Go ahead.
You just said that Eminem should have been canceled for talking about raping black women, right?
No, I didn't say black women. He was just saying rape.
Raping
Well, just raping women,
yeah.
period, right?
Yeah.
Rap artists talk about raping women all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Rap, we don't listen to the same rap then, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
You need to cancel it. Your rapper talking about raping people.
We don't. Okay.
No, I'm talking about he talking about in the degree of him and Rick Ross both talked about raping a woman, drugging a woman, and actually them doing the act. This is not a story being told.
So with Rick Ross, the outlash was with
He lost
his endorsements.
Yeah, he lost.
How many black folks stopped listening to Rick Ross because of that?
Not
To this
because-
day,
not
not
because of
many.
that.
Not many.
Not
Not
because of
many.
that.
Not many.
Not many. So what that tells me is our culture will accept Rick Ross drugging the chick to get some ass. You know what I'm saying?
But excuse
what?
Eminem for doing the same thing and bragging.
But hold on, how are you excusing it? Because you would be a complete hypocrite if I said, hold
happens.
on, because you're black, you can rape somebody. But because if you're white, then that's a whole different story. Rape is rape at the end of the damn
At the
day.
end of the day,
You know
yes,
what I'm
it
saying?
is, but what I'm saying-
So whether you're a white artist or you're a black artist, rape should be condemned, period. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that neither one of those guys got condemned for what they did points to the bigger issue when it comes to rap music. You know what I'm saying? Because Eminem went on there and talked about doing what he do, right? Rick Ross did the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? He got some backlash from white America, but he got absolutely none. I ain't gonna say absolutely none.
No, the black woman was on his ass now.
Maybe, but not enough to where he catered to changing his music about us, because he looked at it just the same way that white America looks at it. Y'all don't have enough influence within your own music to change what we allow y'all to put out there. Hence brings me to my next point. You know what I'm saying? We've allowed artists to speak for us that don't speak for us. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can get up there and rap, nobody will buy my shit. You know why they wouldn't buy my shit? Because I'm going to be the guy.
Rap?
I can't rap. I really can't rap. You know what I'm saying? But then again, shit, these half the dudes that rap now
they can't rap now.
You know what I'm saying?
But
But let me just make my last point.
Okay,
when it
go
comes
ahead.
to this. We expect
you
others.
heard your conscience.
We expect others to do what we won't do. Nobody in the rap community is willing to take that lead. When you said NWA allowed this song to be played, right? They let Eminem do all this. So Eminem has a boss, and his boss is Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy Iovine, but-
And Dr. Dre has a boss. You know what I'm saying? So when all this shit flows down the pipeline, those guys at the top who consider themselves to be elite, they make money. You think they give a damn about your kid?
No, they don't.
I look, and I'm being real. I don't give a
No.
damn if Dr. Dre is black or not. I don't give a damn if goddamn 50 Cent is black or not. You know what I'm saying? They don't live in black communities.
No,
You
they-
know what I'm saying? Right. They don't, I don't care how much, they'll try to keep that hood credibility by saying, oh, I'm going to the hood, but they going heavily guarded. You know what I'm saying? They got a team of professionals who don't look like the dudes in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So when they come through, they'll show you what they want you to see. But they're not going to show that they got a 50-man entourage right behind them, and all these guys are trained snipers, ex-military guys, police guys, or what have you. They don't show you that. You know what I'm saying? Instead, what they do is they give you a fake narrative. Man, I was going through the hood. We just sat up here and we dealt with the whole deal with Offset and Takeoff, Quavo and the Migos and all this stuff about checking in, all this other stuff or what have you. I'm not a big Charleston White fan, but I do agree with some of the stuff that he says.
Yeah.
Rappers make you check in, right? They don't make the white boys check in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard of Lady Gaga checking in. You know what I'm saying? We expect our folks to do stuff. We expect other folks to do stuff for us that we won't do. That's the mentality that we got to get out of. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at rap music, I'm not worried about the record executive making the change. I'm worried about the artist making the change, because the artist is a guy on the front line. So if the artist say, you know what, I may not make no money, but guess what? Your ass ain't gonna make no money either. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna change from within. You ain't gonna have no choice to put out the type of music that we want to represent us. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you just stay a slave to the music. And that's why these guys don't own their masters. That's why they don't own their publishing. That's why they don't own their catalogs. You know what I'm saying? Because they put out what
Other people.
Yeah, and that
say
goes-
put out. Now, last point. I'm gonna really leave it to this.
Now
You
he'll
said the
be
last
he'll a preacher. He'll
Yeah,
I'm on
be
to
a
something right
No,
now.
he ain't.
I'm
Look,
on to
You
something
have to
right
cut
now.
this short,
I'm
man.
on to
Said the same thing. Go ahead.
Listen,
Go ahead with all your points.
I'm on to something right now.
I think he just said what I'm saying. Just he want.
I'm on to
it's
something
your
right
show.
now,
It's
right?
your show.
So
You got it.
check it.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm not a big Kanye fan. All right, you know, I mean, I respect the dude as an artist and things of that nature, but Kanye said something that I found to be very profound, and that was when he was going through all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And let me set the record straight. I don't think Kanye was fighting on behalf of black folks. I think Kanye was fighting on behalf of his legacy and the issues that he's dealing with his family. You know what I'm saying? His personal stuff, right? But he did say something that stuck with me. He says, rap music is one of the only genres of music that these executives, who happen to be not black,
They're white.
you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
will allow the type of innuendo, the type of negativity to be put out there over the airways for the masses and masses and masses of young black folks, older black folks, or what have you. But you don't find that in country music. You don't find that in you know, white R&B or whatever. You don't find that same disparaging music. You tell me one other genre of music that's self-deprecating like rap music. And once again, I'm not condemning rap music, man. I listen to rap music all day, every day.
So should we listen to country music?
I'm about to say,
Practice?
country music, they talk about cheating
It-
all
yeah,
the
it's
time.
so-
That's the infidelity capital of the world.
Now hold on.
Faith,
hold on.
Toby,
Listen,
Chris.
look, now hold on.
Do I need to go down and name the
I'm
list?
gonna say this.
I'm
Now,
talking-
hold on. Now I gotta look.
I
Hold
can-
on. Has a country song ever made you cheat?
No.
Well, exactly.
Cry.
But
Exactly.
a rap
Exactly.
song or R&B song haven't either.
No, I'm not saying we're not talking because
But-
look, because cheating is universal.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't even
but-
need, even if
but
it was no music
you
ever
moving the
invented.
goalposts, Fred. You
No.
moving the goalposts,
No,
man.
even if no music was ever invented. I'm talking about
Mills, he moving the goalposts.
I'm talking about the self-destruction
But Fred, the title of
an
the show
entire
is
culture.
okay. The title of the show has rap culture impacted youth sports. At one point, we're gonna have to blame the culture that hired people to be leaders. Cause if you can't protect these youth,
Who hired them?
I'm just saying, we talking about don't you got coaches?
Yeah.
Are they just volunteers?
That is, I mean, they don't get paid.
But what I'm saying,
Oh, you
hired,
talking
but they
about
put in
the
positions.
coaches.
They put in positions though. You trust their
Yes.
leadership to put them in
He-
positions.
Oh, yeah,
So,
he
what-
hired- yes,
so what I'm saying, I'm
yes.
not. Now, by the way, you know what I'm saying, for the Outlaws and stuff, and whoever else, I don't even know none of these little league teams, but when I say you, I'm talking general as
Right,
position
right.
leaders. We can't. That's out when you can't save everybody.
Right.
Just like rap music ain't gonna affect everybody, but it does come a time and point. And even if you're a church going man, you know, even in church sometimes, right?
I used to go to church.
Oh, me
man.
too.
Pastor
I went
Marshall,
one
what's up,
time.
man?
Once you
Shouts out to
you was
McIntyre.
never gonna leave.
Hey, just real quick, because I don't want to lose. Do we need to do that thing so the thing won't go? Remember the last time we don't move it?
Yeah,
Jay's
Jay's
on that.
in charge of that.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Ooh, come
okay.
back.
Okay. So
I think he did that so he can
He
get
did
he
it on
snug it out.
purpose.
He
No,
old school now. He a
Hey,
player.
I try to move the needle a little bit.
You want to
Throw
let
you
me
off
lose my
your game.
thought?
So
You
listen.
want me to look? You want me to lose my
Look.
thought? Go ahead, Fred.
Listen, man, I have to reiterate this.
I
You know what I'm
think you moved
saying?
the goalpost,
I
though.
am a fan of rap music as a 48-year-old man. I know the difference. See, I can listen to.
You're not influential.
But
But
what-
the kids
It
are.
don't influence me no more.
But what I'm
kids are.
okay.
You
But
know,
what I'm
rap
saying
music
is
don't
though,
influence me no more, not one bit, because I know reality of it. You know what I'm saying? But when I was a young guy, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? I did think I needed to walk around. You know, when I listened to NWA, I listened to all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Never leave without packing a gun. Like that's what we felt back then. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, jumping on dudes. You know, hey, he from the run. Hey man, we got to get him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the music that we listen to. Although our parents said, hey, man, that's not the way to live. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that our parents didn't raise us the right way. there's still external forces out there that we gravitate to.
Which I
you know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
I get
so
that.
so my whole
It's
point is this, and
influential.
I'm not looking for a perfect world. I'm not looking for
Yeah, of course.
utopia. I'm not saying that, without rap music the world would be perfect. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. What I am saying is this: at some point in time, just own up to the responsibility that you have as an artist, the same way that I own up to the responsibility that I have as a president and as a coach. And once again, we can't save everybody. You know what I'm saying? But if I intentionally put out a narrative that said, hey, man, it's okay for my coaches to fight each other in front of the kids. It's okay for my coaches to curse out kids. And it's okay for my coaches to sit around here and bring guns and stuff to practice. Eventually, you would agree that that's going to trickle down to the kids, where the kids are saying, well, damn, if Coach Fred come out here with his gun.
But you're saying the same thing I was saying. Like, we're quick to be like society, right? Even with myself, like, it comes a time where we got to stop saying the white man did this or the white woman is this, when truthfully a lot of the time we are committing a culture genocide.
We're our own oppressors.
We you know what I'm saying? We're committing a culture genocide. You know what I'm saying? So now, and I said this on my show, Fred got, he was like, he came in there, they talk about, he like, Cedric said, F the police and this and that. You know why? Because I don't see color. And that comes from an experience of me being in the U.S. Army as an infantryman, recon sniper.
Thank you for your services.
Thank you. It ain't the fact that Cedric messed up, the platoon messed up, the battalion messed up. Anybody that's in the service understand it ain't a scene. That person may got a DUI, but guess what? By the time they get back to first sergeant, first platoon ate up. And you can have 61 sober people. And you see what I'm saying? So when I talk about the police, I don't see color, race, gender. I see uniform, badge, and your job to protect. Because I had to police the world. That's one, right?
Right.
So when I say these different things, I'm going to show what hip-hop is like when it comes to certain things. With this group and that group. When white police officers messed up, you see the marches, you see everything go on, you see the whole nine.
You speaking my language now.
But I'm saying, but in my personal vendetta is when these black cops did the same thing.
What was outraged?
It wasn't no Black Lives Matter. Al Sharpton skinny ass went nowhere around.
Skinny
No,
big ass head.
you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, so that's what you see what I mean. So
We have to take
you have to take responsibility. So in your case, when you talk about has football, rap music affected the youth sport culture, yes, it's a little sprinkle in there, right? But when an athlete knows how much you care, not care how much you knows, the impact is different.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeezy can't say enough. T.I. can't say enough. NBA YoungBoy can't say enough. It can't say enough.
Okay.
Versus where a person that can control. I'm about to trade places back with you, Mill.
If an athlete knows what?
How much you care, knows how much you care, instead of knowing how much.
Care
Instead of
how
caring
much
about
you
There
how
we
much
go.
you know.
I
Yeah.
love that saying.
Yeah, well, that's a great saying. You know what I'm saying? But
But you can't say that, Fred. Okay, I didn't watch
Too
y'all
much
for.
stock
I-
into these
Yeah,
celebrities.
look, okay, let me say this.
no.
No, it ain't the stop, but I've been watching y'all on episode 9 or 10 right now, right? So this is where I'm saying. I done heard the unspoken accolades. I've been behind the scenes and different things of that nature. Now, let me ask you this. I don't know none of the players' name, but I'm just gonna say just somebody around. Let's just say goddamn Cody Johnson knows that you are the plug to where he's at now, to college. I'm talking about top elite college, to guarantee you're gonna get a chance in the combine. He knows this, right?
right.
And his favorite rapper is fucking who's hot now? NBA YoungBoy or one of the whoever. Who you think gonna have more influence in that culture? The rap music that is being put out that he love, or the person that gonna get him from point A
Hey,
to
once again, I love it.
Fred, you.
I love it.
I'm
I
out
love
of
it.
here.
No,
Thank you.
I'm out of here.
Listen, no, I'm telling you. Let me answer the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Because what you're telling me is this, okay?
No,
And
answer the question.
it's correct. Well, no, I'm gonna tell you. I think the coach should have more influence on that whatever decision that kid is making.
Yeah.
But you know who has even more influence on that kid?
The parents.
His parents. So when you sit up there and we say, okay, we must have some horrible parents then who don't have no influence on their kids, because I can tell you right now, the same way that I talk here is how I parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no contradiction in how I parent.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't allow, my kids to do certain things. I don't allow my kids to listen to certain stuff, you know what I'm saying, without me being present. I'm not gonna like, man, this is real shit. Let me just admit, it's real shit.
Yeah.
They sent home a permission slip for my son, my 9-year-old son, to look at a video on fucking puberty. My son is 9. Nigga, I'm rejecting that. Because I looked at the video first. Let me pull this up on YouTube. And they showing, I'm like, nah, man, my son don't need to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? My whole point being is this. You have some parents out there that try their hardest to be the biggest influencer when it comes to their kids that fail, right? You know why? Because the parent is not on billboards. The parent is not on every radio station that you turn on. The parent on every TikTok video. You know what I'm saying? So in the culture that we live in today, I would love to be able to say that the parents are the most influential people in these kids' lives. But y'all as parents know that that's not the case, because if you're the most influential kid, if you're the most influential person in your kid's life, man, I'm gonna give a big round of applause to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know as parents, at some point in time during our kids' life, they start to look for their own influences. You know what I'm saying? They don't always listen to what we say. You know what I'm saying? So we're telling our kids, hey man, you know what? I know every last one of us as parents had the conversation with our kids. Hey man, don't do no drugs. Hey man, you don't want to smoke no drugs. But once again, with the society we live in, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if you have a kid between the age of 12 and I'm gonna say 18, they have experimented with something. I don't care if it's a fucking vape. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's smoking some marijuana. You know what I'm saying? So where's our influence at then?
Okay, but the way it's going on, we're blaming. We're gonna say we're blaming. We're gonna say rap music impacting this. We know life in the mission is going to happen, right?
Right.
But like, I mean, if say I didn't, because I grew up in church too, right? I had a little bit of both of the worlds. I done seen the finest girls get pregnant that was in the choir their whole life.
Right.
Did R. Kelly did it? No, because half of them were too old for him. They were in his age bracket, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, you can be godly, God tier, anointed, appointed, whatever, and they still find time to get their back blown out, or somebody find time to whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all want to call it sin? We're gonna say somebody influenced them to have sex, okay?
Right.
But what we do, we want to point out everything. So it's amazing in church, right? We say hip hop. We can use hip hop in church or whatever. It's amazing how a person can be a pedophile and they say it's a stronghold in the outside world, but when they point out looking at somebody else, he need to be locked up. So what I'm saying is, you can't, until we take responsibilities. Yes, as parents, I have a special need child. I watch her think that chip and potato on her tablet is more correct in life than me, right? So I'm like, okay, I understand that, but what I'm not gonna do though is at the shortcomings of things and be like, oh, damn.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Well, hopefully I'm not coming across that way, because I'm the thing
yes,
that I've
you
been.
are.
Listen.
Yes.
The thing that I've been preaching the whole time is responsibility and accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I've also said that we look for people outside to do that for us. What I'm saying is this. I'm not gonna say that rappers have an obligation to do anything, because they don't. You don't have an obligation to me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? If that's the way that you choose to live.
You did say that coming into it. You said that the rappers have an obligation to these kids.
No. I feel they have an obligation.
Okay.
Because they have a platform. You know what I'm saying? The same way I said on a couple of shows before that you're a role model whether you choose to be a role model or not. You just be a bad role model. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I don't think that rappers have to accept the responsibility.
A lot of them can't though, Fred. What about
to
them
say
people?
that they have no responsibility, you know what I'm saying? When you're putting stuff out there for the masses, you live a public life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know that the majority of the stuff you do is going to be magnified and glorified and glamorized. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I say this, when I say as a parent, if I go out there and say, hey son, hey man, don't smoke weed. But if every rap song that your child listens to, you know what I'm saying, whether it's by you knowing or not knowing, saying, hey man, go smoke weed, go smoke weed, go smoke weed, and your kid smokes weed, did that mean you're a bad parent?
No, of course not.
Right, because you tried, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You tried. Now, does that mean that the rapper needs to be blamed? No, I'm not saying the rapper needs to be blamed. But what I am saying is that they have contributed in some sort to the problem at hand because, you know what I'm saying, they don't really feel they have a responsibility to your child.
Can you put the responsibility on the kids too?
Well, I feel like when it comes to that, right, and I'm not saying overall rappers don't or R&B singers don't, because I hear 48.
Yeah.
All right, so I hear people that's 55, 48, early 40s. I probably got here because of Keith Sweat or Ron Osley or
right,
this to that.
No doubt.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we're talking about, they're called a baby bloomer era, right? Mm-hmm. So the same people ridicule, you know, oh, they selling drugs because of this and selling drugs because of this or doing that.
Because let's be honest, the same stuff that they're talking about now, y'all was talking about it back then, just a different way.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, like, but what I'm saying, like, when it comes to that, for all I'm simply saying is, like, I guarantee your neighborhood OG that probably look like the song have more influence on that person in the neighborhood than a rap song do. Especially if we talking about people that, because I understand that certain gangs, they may have the same names, but have different meanings in different areas, right? Have more, you know what I'm saying? DJ Quick was one of the first rappers I heard growing up really talk about his gang affiliation because it wasn't heard of. Okay. A lot of people didn't know, I'm bringing full circle, a lot of people didn't know Eazy-E was affiliated with Crips until after he died because it wasn't heard of, right? So when you hear these little sprinkle things out there, and then somebody in everyday life meets a Blood or Crip in real life, and then what we're not talking about, you mix some Boys in the Hood in there that you watch. Okay. Or you mix some Menace to Society in there that you watch. In Sports League, y'all don't think that those kids who here, you ever seen the movie The Program? Any Given Sunday, Friday Night Lights have more influence than a rap song? You see Willie Beeman, I want that. Deion Sanders come out, Is It the Money? These different things that we can point out when you got rock stars that live in this life that don't even rap or sing.
Right. Okay. So once again, just so that it's clear, I'm strictly talking about those that glamorize the negativity and make it seem like the negative shit is the good shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Because we know as parents, you know, like I said, when we weren't parents, we didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have the wisdom. You know, we did what kids were supposed to do. And that's honestly, most of them disobedient. We want to learn ourselves. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to always say, a hard head make a soft ass. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So basically, go ahead and try it your way and tell me how that work out for you. You know what I'm saying? Or what have you. But we also lived in an era to where our parents wasn't saving us left and right. If my little ass went to jail when I was a kid, guess where the fuck I'm going to stay at? In jail. Yeah. I'm going to learn my lesson. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, the whole thing is this.
You go to jail, you say I'm more the kid's glorified.
It's glorified. You know what I'm saying? They are put on higher pedestals for the dumb shit that they do. You know what I'm saying? And it only brings more attention to it. Ain't it? It never struck y'all as odd that a rapper can go to jail and all of a sudden become all of a sudden he's a household name now? Why?
Well, I understand.
Why?
Because
when he come out, you know what he gonna glorify? Man, I was locked up, man. I put it down for this. I put it down for that. You know, I'm sounding like white people and shit.
Fred's records coming out.
He definitely not a rapper. You was a running back. Even with that, and I'm gonna cut you off. Even with that, we talk about. You said it earlier. They don't own their masters. They don't own their catalogs. They don't own these different things. So once you got the strings attached to you, puppet, regardless of where, because you still got to make that money back. Yeah. Like forever, cigarette company targeted black culture. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to you talking about these different things of that nature, these are people that are being controlled. Yeah. then once again, that's why I say when you in control of a narrative, you can either welcome that in or block that to a certain extent. What you can control, because you ain't gonna let no bullshit happen with inside the Outlaws. You're not gonna have.
But there's a concentrated effort not to let that kind of stuff happen.
I
don't just sit by passively and say, well, I hope it don't happen.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying, but you said the key thing
because
you are making it. You are putting the effort in. Because, I mean, truthfully, we are in a generation right now where the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter, you'll catch them at Bentleys together.
Right.
The grandmother.
They ain't going to be a vibe, though. They'll be a Bentleys, though.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you did have a mother-daughter. You had a mother-daughter situation.
No, but not your grandmama, though.
And
one of my shows at the Vibe, it was a generation at the table.
Yes, there was a day,
But you got a good show, though.
Yeah, of course.
You got a family-oriented show, so we encourage that.
But what I'm saying, though, this whole generation in there, they were doing trail ride dances to Juvenile. So what I'm saying is, grandma used to have a role, mom used to have a role, daughter have a role. Now, grandmother and grandma got first verse of NBA YoungBoy. The mama gonna do the verse, and the daughter gonna do the bridge.
Right.
And they will twist their fingers at you together. You be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So it's a different time. What I'm saying is we let the television. Yeah. That's the era that we in right now.
Right.
And so we in a lack of, like you said, a lack of accountability, a lack of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's going with organizations, youth groups, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Churches as well, because of the fact that everybody think, oh, we got to understand how they learn. Just because you understand how a person learns doesn't mean you got to compromise who you are. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going on with this generation. And if it is impacting youth sports, youth ministry, youth whatever, then somebody not only trying to learn how they do them, but they compromise their standard and who they are.
So in
Tori,
conclusion,
we want to hear from you. No.
Well, no, that's you heard from me. I agree.
I'm gonna get our meals ready. Look, meals ready.
So
Mills just stay over there.
We have completely gone over our time. Like, in conclusion, I've seen it.
It takes a village.
It takes a village. Yes, we all have some type of influence, whether it be the rappers, whether it be the church folk, whether it be. I
don't know, Tori. You told Tori. I don't trust Tori closing no more. Because Mill said something about silk sheets and hair weave made you get. You said I'll never be influenced. I don't trust your influence. Somebody else give me a closing.
Okay, I told you. I forgot about that.
Fred, give me a closing.
Hey.
You have
we got you.
Mill's like, oh, you gonna tell that lie?
We got you, Tori. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Listen.
All right.
Hey,
look,
okay. So
the influence of music, yes, it weighs. It weighs heavily on a lot of things. Whether it be kids, adults, old people, like it just weighs heavily.
Well, look, that was gonna be my last statement. Right.
Okay.
Because
your last statement is never a last statement.
Fred is a pastor. I'm telling you. At 55, you're gonna cut the Outlaws. Okay, like, look, you know what?
You got
Pastor Outlaw.
Go.
Okay. The reason why rap has infiltrated and had a negative impact on youth sports is simple. Mm-hmm. A lot of these parents subscribe to that lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. So they're basically pushing down the narrative that they've been putting their head down to their kids, right? Mm-hmm. So we spent the majority of the show talking about parents that don't subscribe to the lifestyle and how it's impacted their kids. Now we're gonna shift gears a little bit, just so that y'all understand exactly where I'm coming from. So when you got that kid, when you got that parent that is telling their kid it's cool to be a thug, you got that parent that's telling their kids it's cool to slap the crap out of somebody if they don't agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Or, to be the toughest guy and all this other stuff. That's problematic. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, in no way, shape, form, or fashion will I ever, ever, ever expect somebody to have more influence on my child than I have. You know what I'm saying? But that's the same way that I don't expect politicians to do more for my kids than I do. I don't expect this school to teach my kids more than I teach them. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect anyone outside of myself to do more than what I do when it comes to my kids. But I do expect them to play their role in my child's life because, once again, it does take a village.
Well,
you know what
I
I'm
do
saying?
expect the schools to teach my kids more,
Well, I
'cause
mean,
I don't.
well, you ain't gonna teach your own kids.
I can't. The stuff that these kids are learning
Oh,
and how
Mills.
they're learning.
I was counting in my
Mills.
head when he gonna say Mills.
Oh Lord.
Well-
I can't do half the math that they're doing now.
Well, that's advanced AP. That math been around since early 2000,
Okay,
late 99.
I'm sorry. I
when
digress.
When Cash Money
Let's
took
move.
over.
Okay, so that was
Don't put it
45
into terms,
seconds.
though. These organizations putting these volunteers that live in that rapping lifestyle.
Okay, so
and turn these kids-
right. So what Mill's saying is the organizations that allow these coaches and these volunteers
To
to be
infiltrate
placed in front of
the
their
kids.
kids that still live this particular lifestyle. Now, once again, man, listen, I'm not condoning a particular lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? If you live that thug lifestyle and that, man, that's great for you. Just don't bring that shit around no kids because it's not positive for them. Give those kids an opportunity to do something different because I don't think there's anyone that would agree that running from cops, you know, selling drugs, you know what I'm saying, all the sexual type stuff
of course.
is appropriate for kids.
It's not.
Now, that may be appropriate for us as adults. You know what I'm saying? Man, like, if you feel that's what you want to do, once again, man, knock yourself out with it. I don't judge nobody and how they live, man. You know what I'm saying? I really don't.
And but unfortunately, the age of these parents is getting younger and
just
younger,
said the
and
grandmother,
it's just
the mother, and the daughter
it's-
what it-
all in
and
the
it's
club.
starting to
Listen,
kind of clash together. And
what
it's,
it is
it's
we're just
a little
getting
bit-
older. As we get older,
You're getting older.
as we get older, we just start to see things differently. You can't tell me the age you are at now that you look at life the same way you looked at it when you was 20.
No, I don't. But at the same time, too, I always. This one thing about it. I have male figures in my life, right? That always told me, don't be a follower, be a leader.
Right.
And when you know you're successful as a leader by the impact that you leave. And I took that in the military, helped me comb that and that structure as well, right? So what I'm saying is, I also knew once again, I grew up in, I had streets and church. I also knew every rapper ain't real and every Christian ain't gonna go to heaven.
Boom. Right there.
You see what I'm saying? So we can lash on the back about one thing, but it's a full circle at the end of the day. You have to be taught or something instilled in you. You know what I'm saying? Sometime in life, some person gonna plant a seed, another person gonna water it, and another person gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just instill with that. But until we start pointing fingers out, because cancer don't ever start outward. It starts
It's inward,
inside.
yeah.
Cancer is a parasite. So the parasites that, in this case, we can say hip hop. I mean, I don't see when people do mass shootings, they be like, damn, Columbo done killed 57 people in the first 30 seconds of this movie. We don't get those.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it just I just feel like when it comes to us, we move the goalposts. There's a lot of double standards, and then we self-killing each other.
I agree. We didn't even touch on our last subject. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll
it's okay.
we'll
We're gonna
wait till the next show for
We'll
that.
wait till the next show. We're gonna kind of talk about the eras and how that's also impacted
Right.
generations today, and how you guys as old people, how y'all did it right.
All right, well, look.
I'm not
Look,
doing
hey, we
this.
about to
I'm
sum
not-
it up.
No,
But
we
I'm outta
already
here.
summed it up.
No. I'm saying I can't leave the show without giving a huge shout out
Okay.
to my homeboy. This is like really one of my real homeboys, somebody I grew up with. Wayne C. the Coach. He just dropped his album today. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to post it on my Facebook page for all of my friends and my followers and people that tap in with us or whatnot.
Yeah.
Once again, phenomenal guy. You know what I'm saying? Military veteran. You
tell
know,
him, holla at
dope artist. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. In fact, that's why I've kind of
Yeah, I'll list to some of as I got ready.
Right.
Game time, right?
Yeah.
So you know
Game
what I'm saying?
time, right? You know
so
what I'm
make
saying?
sure you holler at me. I want to definitely, he a veteran, so off top everything
Right.
else.
You
know
know,
what I'm saying?
so like I said, I mean, this show is all about trying to elevate the people that we know and the people that we can influence that have influence on others. You know what I'm saying? So not just for Wayne C., but for other artists, you know what I'm saying? You got the man sitting right here in front of you. This is a guy, like I said, I wish we could pan to the platinum plaques or whatever and stuff. I'll take some pictures after the show to show y'all that this is real life. This ain't just what he's talking about. Like, this guy has a gift, a genuine gift to help independent artists take their careers to the next level, doing it the right way. And I know we went long overboard or whatever and stuff, but once again, I cannot end the show without letting everybody that taps in with us know, man, that we are about promoting the people that promote us. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I'm gonna put the link to Wayne C's album on my Facebook page. It's already on there, but I'm gonna drop it again. You know what I'm saying? And if you guys get a chance, man, check his music out. Like I said, it's dope music. It's adult music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I actually enjoy. Not something that I would put on my kids or that like that or whatever, but it's something that I would jam, that I have been jamming in my own personal vehicle or whatever stuff, man. So once again, Wayne C, shout out to you. Shout out to all the local artists out there, period, making music that they want to make, not music that they're being forced to make. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a big difference.
Someone asked how they can support you. So what's the best way?
Send them some damn money. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, well, how?
That's a good question. Follow me on. You can reach out to me in my inbox on Facebook. Cedric Bellamy, CEO_Legacy City _ Legacy _ City. You can reach out to me that way. A lot of times, the money that comes in for Street Legend, it goes right back out into the community. So like we talk about, I can't save everybody, but we do try to get kids that's in the system, get them in here, record, learn a trade or craft or something, because just like the football leagues and stuff, statistics shows a kid that has something to look up to would less likely be a repeat offender or even get in trouble. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To jeopardize what they're building.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you can follow me on the Street Legend Nation page as well. So it helps keep, like y'all, help y'all get us upgrade and different things of that nature. So the
Fred's
money that
gonna
comes,
post it, Quisha.
Yeah, Fred will post. I don't want to be
Fred's
long-winded.
post
Yeah,
it.
hey, and y'all
Fred's a pastor though. Look, he
I know.
he in denial where he running.
And then
Look,
we have to.
he a Southern pastor too,
Yeah.
boy. That joker said, "That's
then
my point."
We have to support Blaze. Shout out to
Blaze.
Yes,
Blaze.
thank you for your support. We're supporting your team, the Bayou Hurricanes. So I think he said he has a game this weekend, Saturday. So support. Thank
Blaze,
you.
just send me the link. Send me the link so that I can put it on my page and share it with all of my friends and followers.
Yep.
Real quick, make sure y'all go to the Tapin 210 podcast, like, subscribe, share. I see y'all been buzzing lately, you know what I'm saying, as well. So make sure y'all tap into the YouTube page as well. So make sure y'all support them, because as soon as they hit these certain numbers, they can start getting paid.
Yeah.
And then we can hire staff.
Hey, it's time to get the vibe.
I'm
Vibe be
not
live
going-
on
I'm not going
Thursdays.
to
I'm finna go to
tonight.
buy. Hey, I want to see the 3 generations of grandmothers, mothers, and daughters.
Hey, they gonna be out there
You know what I'm
twerking
saying?
it,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how y'all do it.
Yeah. So thank you, Brian, for joining us, and Marika, feel better if you're still watching, and Fred, see y'all have a good weekend. Everybody have a good weekend. Join us next Thursday. We got some more stuff coming. All right.
That was fun. We still live.
That was fun.
Hey, it don't matter. We still having fun. Y'all getting some exclusive footage after the show is over.